we go again.
It's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Hey, man, it's been a little minute, right? We've had some things here going on. What you been up to, man?
Oh, my schedule ain't changed, bro. It's been about the same for me. I know you had some stuff going on though.
Yeah, man. I had to go out of town, man, to check on my pops. Got a chance to see my mama. Got a chance to see my little brother. Got a chance to see my aunt, and uncle also there. So all in all, it's one of those things, man, to where my dad was in the hospital, and so it's one of those things where a lot of times you have those unfortunate incidents where they turn into mini family reunions. And so it's unfortunate that you see people on those circumstances and under those terms, but nonetheless, it was still an absolute pleasure getting on out to Louisiana and seeing the folks that I did. I'm hoping to make another trip out there, probably in another week or so. And to be quite honest with you, while I'm going there and my dad's health is pretty good, I'm also hoping to see some other folks that I didn't get a chance to see the last time around. So yeah, man. All in all, it was pretty cool though, man.
Yeah, how's he doing now?
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, man? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When I first went down there, he was down bad. I mean, he was down pretty bad, and now he is back in a he was in ICU at first, or CCU, critical care, and now he's in a long term care space. He's doing so. He's actually about to start doing rehab, and so he is like I'm talking about night and day better compared to how he was when I first went out there 2 weeks ago, versus now though, man. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, so glad he is doing much better. And speaking of dads,
Yeah,
we need to get right into it, but we'll get into it after the music.
let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you
of all time.
smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Time.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys is doing their thing. It's Kennedy.
Hey, breaking news before we get into the dad conversation.
Okay.
Russell Wilson signs with the New York Giants.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. How that must have been hot. I don't even think I got notification of that.
Yeah, breaking news. He just signed with them for
1 year deal then.
yeah. So yeah, that
I'm not
officially
mad at that, bro.
I'm not mad at
They
it either.
signed Jameis Winston as well. So just like a day or so ago though. I'm not mad at that though, bro.
Yeah, that officially puts Pittsburgh on the clock.
Well, here's what I think. This is the thing that makes that interesting, right? Is because to me, like I think that people had always assumed that New York, if available, was going to pick up JuJu Sanders, right? So I think that what it would allow them to do by getting Russ, because I think Russ, I don't care what nobody says, I think Russ is still a starting quarterback, right? And so I think that if they go ahead and if they get him, I think that it gives them the opportunity to not throw Shador Sanders out there. I think you can ease him on in there if you think that he's your true long-term solution of a franchise quarterback. Then I think that you can start Russ, ease him in there. The problem that I think I see is that Russ is going to give you some pretty above average quarterback play in numbers. I think Russ is still going to give you about 25 touchdowns, maybe 8 interceptions. And I think that that's usually enough to keep. I would take that over Derek Carr any day, right? So my question would be that if Russ goes in and he's playing well and you got the kid on the sideline, what does that look like in terms of his progress, though?
Well, and you got Jameis Winston, who doesn't mind being a backup quarterback. Jameis just wants to be in the league at this point.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. What does that say about what Pittsburgh's going to do? Because if Fields is already gone, Justin Fields signed with the Jets, which I like because I think that he gets the opportunity with very little to no competition for the starting spot.
Mhm.
But what does that look like for the Steelers now that they basically don't have a starting quarterback?
They're all in on Aaron Rodgers. They really want him. I think that they think he gives them the best opportunity to compete. And this is like Tomlin's year. If he doesn't produce this year, he'll probably be out. So you want to bring in a veteran, somebody who can do all the things, who's been a leader before, that knows how to run a locker room or what have you. And you are one of those guys that believes a 2-year injury. You need 2 years after injury to come back to play successful. So this would be that year for Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, listen, I think that with all things considered, this is going to be unfortunate to say this. I think that if the Steelers win, I mean, no, but if the Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers, they let go of Najee Harris, by the way, who had 4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards, and you can put as much stock in that as you want to, given that you play more games now. So 1,000 yards should be basically, to me, at the bare minimum of a starting running back. But nonetheless, he got it. So let's say you replace the running back. You got DK Metcalf, and you already had George Pickens at wide receiver now, right? I think their tight end pretty good as well. I think that I think the Steelers are going to be better, bro. I think that they are going to win a game in the playoffs. But the tough part about that is their division is tough, right? Because you got the Ravens and Lamar out there. You got Joe Burrow out there in Cincy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that trying to be that third team is always very challenging in that division, though, bro, because, Cleveland is Cleveland. I think that they're only good like every 5 years, though, bro. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that one, though.
I mean, what else are you going to do? All the quarterbacks are getting sewn up. So unless they decide a late move to go and get Kirk Cousins, because Atlanta's kind of open to trading him. I mean, he ain't gonna start, so they're open to trading him if it was looking good. So it's who you want, Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers.
Honestly, it's not time for them boys to hang it up, man. But dang, I'm gonna say I would go with Aaron Rodgers, mainly because I like even Aaron Rodgers at this age. I know exactly where Russ is gonna take you. I mean, not Russ, but Kirk Cousins is gonna take you. I know what he's gonna do, and with all things considered, I know what Aaron Rodgers can give you as well. And given what he can give you, I just think that he can give you more than Kirk Cousins. Am I
Well,
tripping?
and that's the thing. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. If you want somebody that's going to be a good locker room guy that you don't have to pay a ton of money for, and that can, get you pretty decent, then go with Kirk Cousins. But if you are trying to be aggressive and believe that you have an opportunity to compete, then do Aaron Rodgers. Because either way, if you don't do well with Kirk Cousins, you're going to be out of there. And if you don't do well with Aaron Rodgers, you're going to be out of there. But what happens if you do well with Aaron Rodgers? Then you ain't got no choice but to just, hey, that was the move. So I don't know. It doesn't matter to me either way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, breaking news, Russell Wilson to the New York Giants.
Wow.
So we was talking about being a dad. So we missed out on this for the last 2 weeks. Stephen A got approached by LeBron James in mid game And LeBron just kind of checked him like, yo, keep my son name out your mouth in so many words. And some of the angles I've heard, Stephen A has kind of been on a press run tour about it since then, and he hasn't really backed down on anything. One thing he did say that I never heard anybody comment on, which is what I wanted to talk about, is the fact that Stephen A had an issue talking about. He said it was weak of LeBron to talk to him like that and not hit him up to call him or set up a meeting. They could have talked after the game, this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, like, hold on, bro. Hold on. Wait. You went on live TV in front of everybody with your loud platform, with your loud mouth, and tried to check this man talking about what he should do as a father. So my thing is, LeBron did exactly what you did. He checked you in front of a live crowd during a game. He checked you at work like you was trying to check him at work. So I had no issue with it whatsoever. And he can try to hide behind the fact that he was talking basketball, or then because at first he was like, I was just talking strictly basketball. Then it was, I wasn't even talking about Bronny. I was talking about you. But the point is, why you sneak dissing? Because you could have just came out and said what you wanted to say. And then, he kept trying to hide behind the fact that LeBron was the one that said Bronny was better than a bunch of these people in the league, this, that, and the other. But I'm just like, nah, you went on your platform and did it how you wanted to do it. And LeBron did it how he wanted to do it. So no, he checked him live and in color, and I had no issue with it, especially when you use the words as a dad. Like, nah, you don't tell me how to raise my kids, bro.
Listen, this is my lone thing with this whole thing, right? My thing is this. If you're gonna talk about it just being basketball, that's fair, right? I think that Bronny should be open to any criticism about his play as a basketball player. Here's my question: have you, Ace Kennedy, ever heard? Have you ever heard Stephen A. Smith talk at all about Ryan Dunn?
Nope.
Have you ever heard him talk about Keon George?
Nope.
Have you heard him talk about Jaden Wells?
Nope.
Okay. Have you heard him talk about Ryan Hollins?
No.
Okay. Aside from them, right? How many players from this draft can you name?
Well, obviously, because I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, I know AJ Mitchell, which should have been talked about because AJ Mitchell played himself into a rotation with OKC until he got hurt. Like he was actually in the rotation. They stopped going after Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson was the name on the board that the Thunder was going to get before the draft, right? Before the trade deadline. And all of a sudden, those trade deadline talks stopped because they wanted to sign AJ Mitchell. So they signed AJ Mitchell because he was like heavily in the rotation, which he was a second round pick. They ain't talked about him at all. And I get it. That's Bronny, LeBron James' son. So you are gonna it comes with the territory. I get it. Facts. But at the same token, you still didn't keep it all the way basketball. When you sneak this and start talking about what somebody should do as a father, and like for one, that's a touchy subject for LeBron anyway, because his dad wasn't around, so he's doing stuff differently with his own kids. You know what I'm saying? And then LeBron don't really say, he hasn't responded to Skip Bayless. He don't really get into that type of politics and stuff. But you said something, you combined what you really wanted to say, and then hid it behind the whole Bronny thing. Like I said, it was sneak dissing to me, bro.
It definitely to me was sneak dissing, but I think the thing about it to me, what makes it validating about the sneak dissing is that I've never heard you speak at all about any other rookies this season about their basketball play. And so when it's to me, this is the thing that makes me mad. The thing that really pisses me off though, bro, about people and Bronny, because I think that LeBron James and Bronny James, it's just they're so polarizing, right? Of a father-son duo. But there are realistic people out there who in real life think Bronny just like he doesn't belong in the NBA. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, bro, if you're telling me that Bronny doesn't belong in the NBA, you need to tell me by what merit, right?
Right.
Because there's a lot of guys that are in the league that ain't averaging 10 points a game, that ain't averaging 3 points a game, that probably have similar stats to LeBron that have been in the league for years. There are players who have made careers in the NBA that have never averaged more than 5 points a game. But aside from that, if you tell me that Bronny can't play, if you tell me that Bronny, and I hate this word, but when you tell me that Bronny is trash, I need to see you do a left hand layup. I need to see you dribble with your offhand and left hand layup. Whatever if you left handed, I need to see you do right hand layup. But if you're right-handed, I need to see you do layup drills. I need to see you shoot a mid-range jump shot. I need to see you shoot a three. Because then that would tell me whatever you base being trash off of, you probably know from personal experience. Let me tell you something that made me mad. I got mad. I got low-key mad at my vanilla brother from another mother, Chad. Let me call Chad out. I'm gonna call him to the carpet because I saw my brother Chad put a post out there that said Bronny James. It was something that he reposted, but it's something to the effect of Bronny James is the only player that I've seen that makes me think I can be the NBA player one-on-one, right? And I said, wait a minute. Never mind the fact that Bronny James has been trained at an NBA level by NBA level coaches all of his life. So all he's ever known is basketball training at the highest level, right? I said, Chad, you can beat Bronny James because, Chad, I saw you with my own eyes letting your wife give you buckets. I saw your wife. I got picture. I said, bro, I got a picture of your wife scoring on you at my house.
Right.
But you think you can beat Bronny? Really? Really? He said, bro, you're too casual of a fan to say, I saw your wife in person. I think if he played his wife, I think his wife would have beat him at least by 4 points, bro. And he probably wouldn't even been that close, though, bro. Come on, Chad. Stop. Chad, get out my face with this, bro.
But here's my thing though. This is the part that gets me, right. Scratch all of that. Forget the whole thing about him having NBA training all of his life. Forget the fact of all the things he's done in the AAU. Forget what he's done in college. Forget the cardiac incident. Forget all of that. What's wrong if LeBron is the face of the league, the best player in the game today? Why does it not make sense that if he has the power to bring his son into the league, that he should have that opportunity? Now this is my thing. We know nepotism to be alive and well in other industries all over the world with all different other races, but when it comes to us, it's a problem when we want to bring our kids up into something that we are the face of the league for. Like, we don't get that many opportunities like that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there are opportunities of that, but I'm saying he is the face of the league, and if he wants to bring his son up in there, I'm still okay with that. I don't feel like it's taking away a spot from another person. I got two sons that can ball out, and I wish they could be in the league. But at the same time, I don't feel like Bronny took a spot from Deuce.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
If Bronny really takes Tari's spot.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think so. Like, Trey Alexander played with Deuce. Like, they played on the same team in elementary school. They played against each other in high school. And Trey is out there killing it in the G League, doing his thing. I don't
care. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't even have a problem with Thanasis playing with playing with Giannis. And I don't have a problem if all of the Antetokounmpo brothers played on the same team, all to keep Giannis there. Here's the reason why I'm saying that. Because the reason why I'm saying that is that if you're telling me, right, that Thanasis really is just like I said, I don't use trash often. not when it comes to NBA players. I just don't like for me to call an NBA player a trash, knowing the probabilities of getting there and how good you really have to be just to make it. So few people in the world can. And you tell me that he's trash? Like, come on, bro. No, he's not. Maybe he's not Giannis, but there's no way that somebody can say, you know what, he's so trash that we can't even put him on the team. We can't even see him. No, no, no. So I'm not even mad at that. But I think that the problem is that where I think that it's different is that there's nepotism, right? But then I think that people look at the actual athletes in terms of nepotism. People have never seen nepotism when it came to a position that really has to do with talent, athleticism, right? It's like, like when we think about Jerry Jones, right? I think that it's running the Cowboys as a family business to them. So there's no reason why you wouldn't think that anybody who's a Jones who wants a job, there's no reason why they would go and work for the New Orleans Saints. There's no reason why if you're a Cowboy, if you're a Jones, that you would go and work for the Redskins, right? Or the Commanders, right? But I think that my thing is this: that's something that you can teach someone, right? You can teach someone how to be a scout. These are the things that we look for, right? When it comes to being a general man, all these other positions, you can bring somebody from the family in the field and teach them, right? But I think that people feel some kind of way that in the NBA, when the probabilities of making the league are so few, such a fine percentage of the world in history who's made it to the NBA, that's the problem that people have, that they think that Bronny really doesn't have the talent or athleticism to make it in a league where so few people have. And that's the part that I personally disagree with, right? It's like, I understand that people might have a problem with nepotism. I get it. I'm of the belief that Bronny is plenty good enough to be in the NBA. Now, are there some guys in the G League who also should be in the league or could be? Sure, I'm sure there are. But I'm just saying that you can make the case for them the same way that I would make the case for Bronny, bro.
No, I get that, and like I said, I definitely think he's where he's supposed to be. And the thing is, he's played in a couple of games, a handful of games all season, as far as excuse me, actually playing, which a lot of the other G League players do. You know what I'm saying? Trash can minutes or people hurt. That's when he's really. It ain't like he's just out there like Dalton Connect. You know what I'm saying? Out there just playing. So I'm cool with it, bro.
I mean, even outside of that, though, man. I mean, he's a rookie on he is a rookie on a contending team, right? If you look at any other rookie, there's only maybe 2 or 3 rookies in the entire NBA that are getting significant or meaningful minutes on contending teams. That's just how it works, though, bro. Like, if you are a contender and you absolutely need rookie minutes, then something's wrong with your team, right? So it's like those are like extras, like extra icing on the cake when you got a rookie who can contribute right away to a team that has championship aspirations, though, bro. But get out of my face with that. But Bronny is plenty good enough to be in the league, though, bro.
Yeah. Hey, bro, real quick, because I know we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but I got to bring this up because we ain't even think about it. You been keeping up with Raw?
I've been trying to, bro. I keep up with it from afar in that I haven't watched all of the matches, but I do follow WWE on the socials.
Okay.
And so I kind of got an idea of what's been going
Yeah.
on. I wanted to watch Raw yesterday, but I missed it.
I don't care about the matches. I'm looking for this the road to WrestleMania, so I'm looking at the build up for the matches, right?
Sure.
So they're on their overseas tour right now, and so they're really trying to set up for why certain people are fighting certain people. Cena and Cody finally got the opportunity to go back and forth. And we got to find out Cena's motivations for everything. And it's weird because we've only known Cena to be a baby face or a good guy, and now we're seeing him as a heel. And he actually, his reasoning is pretty simple but effective. You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's a good build?
I like it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think I would like it as much. When I saw him dumping the WWE universe, the fan, I thought that it was brilliant, bro. Like it's crazy because it almost felt like it had the same impact that he would if he was a babyface, right? Like when I was watching it, he still had the dope mic skills. It's just him being darker, bro. And I kind of like, don't get me wrong, I like him as the good guy, John Cena, but I'm not mad at this either, though, bro.
I mean, it's for me. I'm just waiting for them to let him dunk on Cody. They haven't let him do it yet. They have not let him say anything to Cody. He'll address the crowd. He won't say anything to Cody. And Cody is saying everything he want to say. I'm waiting for them to have the verbal back and forth. That's where I think it's going to get really interesting. Because he tried to sun him. He tried to call him kid, and Cody clapped back real quick, and he just, fell back. But I'm waiting for the real back and forth.
Yeah, no. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Just as much as I'm waiting to see that, I am waiting. I'm honestly waiting to see what they're gonna do at WrestleMania with Jey Uso, bro. Like I really want to know if they really are gonna ride. Because this is the thing about it. You and I have seen WWE ride like almost like they didn't want to, but
Right.
they rode a wave, and once it peaked, they just let it all fall down. So I'm wondering if they're gonna give him the Daniel Bryan once he got the belt, the Kofi treatment once he got the belt, the Big E, like I've seen organic ways. Like I'm talking about, like, bro, when I saw the Jey Uso yeet, like when I saw, listen, I hadn't watched wrestling for months, at least 6 months. The last time I didn't even know that Roman Reigns was injured or out for a little while. The last time I was watching it uh, uh, consistently, Sami Zayn was still with the Moors, right? That was the last time I was watching it and engaged. So fast forward, and Jey Uso wasn't like back main event Jey. He was still with his brother and everything then. So when I'm watching the crowd go crazy, and then especially when I saw it on the Netflix joint, and I see him coming out there with the boy Quavo, and bro, I couldn't believe
Came
that
out there with Travis
Jey
Scott.
Uso. And what? No. He was out there with.
Travis had the
They was in Atlanta with Quavo though.
I
On
get
one
that.
of the ones.
Okay, well, I thought you was talking about the opening Netflix when he
No,
came.
no, no. No. I saw. Yeah, he did come out there with Travis Scott. He did on that. But I saw him come out there with Quavo, and I was really like blown away because I remember seeing the Travis Scott, and I thought maybe this was just it's Netflix, it's the big one. But when he followed it up in Atlanta and it was still as big, it's just like, bro, I was like, really, like I can't believe that Jey. Not to say he's not good. I've always liked him, but I've always liked Kofi. I've always liked all of the guys that WWE didn't really push like that. So. Um, but that's one thing that I'm watching. And to be honest with you, I'm also watching to see how Naomi, like I'm interested. I'm watching to see. I like her as also going heel also though, bro. So um it's just and I like it's interesting because like there are certain things that I'm particularly interested in and stuff that I just could care less about. So that's the reason why I haven't been like actively watching because it's like I kind of only want to watch to keep up with the certain people that I'm interested in. When back in the day, I was locked into the whole universe, right? And I wanted to see everything. Now it's just like it's so hit or miss that I don't really care to watch everything though.
See, I'm definitely into the Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth match too, because they actually got a reason to
Mm.
fight. They actually got a reason to fight. They set that up a while back. Triple
What's
H is
that?
good.
Fill me in on that. Fill me in on that.
Okay, so they had to do the Survivor Series, and the Bloodline was down a man, but they were about to fight the new Bloodline, right? With Solo Sikoa and all them. And so Paul Heyman was like, yo, I got a guy. You might not like it, but I got a guy. It was CM Punk. So CM Punk came, they won the Survivor Series, but he was like, look, Paul Heyman, you owe me a favor, right? Him and Roman kind of had it going back and forth to all night, whatever, but they won. They shook hands, dapped it up, cool. Seth Rollins had an issue because he was like, bro, when you left WWE, you act like you couldn't talk to nobody from here no more. And you was like my mentor, right? You can't text back, nothing. And storyline wise, CM Punk brought the Shield up from NXT, right? Or OVW back then, or whatever it was. It was his idea to bring them up to the Shield. So he brought them in the business. So, so now CM Punk is basically throwing Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble, got thrown out by CM Punk. So he was like, yo, you cost me the title, right? And so then when they had the elimination chamber, Roman Reigns, I mean, it was a Madison Square Garden. It was here on Raw, right? They had the cage match. It was Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Well, Seth Rollins was about to win, and Roman Reigns came in there and threw him out and beat up both of them. So CM Punk is like, listen, neither one of y'all have ever beat me without the other person, right? And then it was like, y'all sit up here, got this blood feud because y'all never coexisted, blah, blah, blah. And I'm the one that brought both of y'all in. So I'm going to be the one because y'all making it personal, and this is business for me. Like, y'all are in my way to get to where I'm trying to go. So I'm whooping both of y'all because neither one of y'all can beat me one-on-one. Like, it's never happened. So they got that. Plus, he's like, and maybe you starting to realize that your wise man ain't really just your wise man. Because again, CM Punk is a Walrus guy. You know what I'm saying? That's his boy. So that little storyline's going on. And in real life, you know, CM Punk doesn't like Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins don't like him, but they work together. Like they know how to, you know, do whatever for work. Same with Scott the Psychopath. He don't like him in real life either. But again, they money when they do stuff together. So yeah, I'm interested in that one as well.
Listen, I was low-key mad that Roman Reigns is out there in the new Jordan 4s, out there just wrestling and out there saying, he got my new bucket list shoe on. And he out there just dogging them out though, bro. I said, man, if you don't sit down somewhere though, man, I was blown away. I was like, yo, is he out there fighting them to join too? Man, listen.
Yeah,
crazy.
He be getting all the customs, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, bro, you gonna be out here completely disrespecting the kicks like that.
Yeah, man.
You out here super punching, you out here jumping up. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. When I get my shoes, I wear mine, right? I don't got none anymore anyway that's locked up in the case somewhere. Now I'm wearing everything. But you gonna be out here just listen, I ain't hooping in them though, right? I ain't washing a car in them though, bro. Like, I said, nah, Roman Reigns, you disrespected my grail, bro. But I do want to go back and rewatch it. One thing that I'm completely lost on is SmackDown. Like, I'm completely gone on what's been going on there.
You're not lost on SmackDown because the stuff with Bianca Belair and Trinity, that's all SmackDown. Cody Rhodes, that's SmackDown. Cody Rhodes is the champion on SmackDown. So you again, this is the road to WrestleMania. So it's kind of blended shows right now. Everything is just setting up storyline. You just might not see Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw because again, he's on SmackDown, and CM Punk is a Raw guy. So it's all interweaving at this point because of WrestleMania. Because honestly, the match you talking about, the Jey Uso match, is the Raw match. That's not even a SmackDown match. So Cena and Cody, that's a SmackDown thing.
Yeah. It's funny though that Jey Uso, and your boy is everything that I love versus everything that I hate.
Yeah.
It's like I hate the kind of wrestlers, but Jey Uso's the kind of wrestler I like versus the kind of wrestler that I don't particularly like.
And the crazy part is the other organic build that they let fall completely off was LA Knight. LA Knight was scorching hot, and when they finally put a belt on him, they were over it because it was like you teased us so much that you didn't ever push him over, and when they did, it just and they gave him like the IC belt. It wasn't even like the World Heavyweight Championship, so it was like
they did that with Austin Theory also.
Yeah, but Austin Theory never really. He wasn't.
He was supposed to be the guy. He won Money in the Bank and everything, bro.
No. That was the company pushing him, not the crowd organically wanting him. Different.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I'm talking about because they tried to force feed a Scott a psychopath before he got rehired. So
I hated him before.
When they tried to force feed us Roman Reigns, until he came back as the OTC, nobody was rocking with Roman like that. Until he turned heel and got his new teeth, nobody was rocking with him like that.
Well, okay, but I take that. Okay, maybe in terms of the WWE universe, I always liked Roman Reigns. Now that I think about that, I always did.
We did, but I'm talking about
yeah.
Trying to force Roman, like when they broke the Shield up, and they was like, "Nah, put the jetpack on Roman," and they was trying to make him be the baby face. Nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted that.
I just thought about something.
What's up?
Do you know why? I just thought about why they never pushed Dean Ambrose.
Why?
They didn't push him because he was going bald, bro.
That's what it was.
Oh, Seth Rollins, head full of hair. Roman Reigns, head full of hair. Dean Ambrose, head full of thinning hair. He looked like a white Trae Young head, bro. And it was thinning every month. It was getting thinner and thinner. And I think that it's like WWE, you got to be completely bald or nothing. You and listen, especially a white guy. You ain't gonna be a white guy on WWE with a fade. Like I've never seen that. You could correct me if I'm wrong. How many white champions have you seen on WWE? Kurt Angle eventually cut his hair bald, and that's when he leveled up on there. But how many white champions have you seen on WWE with like a low Caesar or a low cut? They all got long hair or bald, one of the two.
Nah, you
like,
but either I just thought they didn't want him to be champion because he want to bleed too much.
Well, that could be it though. But I'm talking about in terms of just the look. I think the WWE, part of them having a blueprint in terms of marketability, right? I think that you look at it this way, right? Daniel Bryan, he had the low cut, and they didn't push him like that though, bro. It's like that was saying, like if you got that low Caesar, a low cut, I think that doesn't look like the Vince McMahon cookie cutter champion though, bro. It's like you got to be bald with a goatee or beard because that looks tough, or you got to have the long hair though, bro. And then I think that every single champion that I've ever seen that I could think of, I mean, Hulk Hogan probably only got by because he had the long shag on the side though.
The only person that kind of, but again, he got hurt right afterwards is Finn Balor. Finn Balor was the first Universal Champion.
Well, but he got hurt.
Yeah.
He had the demon, so he was wearing the mask and all of that stuff. But he had the low cut, but they didn't push him though. But listen, when you go back and you think about all of the WWE superstars though, bro. Jake the Snake, long hair. Rick Rude had long hair. Ric Flair, long hair. Ultimate Warrior, long hair. Bret Hart, long hair. Like you got to have the long hair to be the guy and to be one of them. Yeah.
All right, bro. What else we
got? Big E didn't get the push because Kofi at least had some hair, right? Yeah. I want to see got the push when he had the dreads, so bro. I'm telling you, bro. If you look at that pattern, yeah. Yeah. So why Bobby Lashley never got that big push like that, bro, because he was
He was
bald.
bald.
But he was bald, but he didn't have a beard. He was smooth face. Yeah, yeah. There's something to that, bro. I need to have the research department look into that, though, bro.
Yeah. What else we got?
Hey, and you were talking about people who didn't necessarily like each other in real life on wrestling. Did you see uh, Lizzo
Yeah.
went live? She streamed live. I guess apparently Young Miami had an interview somewhere where
She
she
had an
mentioned
interview on
Lizzo.
Club Shay Shay.
Yes, had the interview on Club Shay Shay where she kind of mentioned Lizzo's weight. And I can kind of see how if you only watch a certain little excerpt of that interview, how it could be taken out of context. Well, Lizzo,
Nah.
talk to me about
Not at all. There was no out of context whatsoever. I think I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think Lizzo just wanted to shoot some content because Young Miami, first of all, had no issue coming on her live to clear it up because there was nothing. There was nothing. So the conversation was about BBLs and natural bodies, right? And Young Miami was basically like, look, men are never satisfied. You could get the BBL, then they can say, oh, it's fake. They can say,
right.
you got the natural body, oh, you look like a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's no in betweens. He said, even take Lizzo. Lizzo's losing weight now. She's looking good. But the problem was what she said was she said people are saying, ugh, right? So that's what
Yeah,
had the issue about because she was like, "What do you mean by that?" She said when people are describing your weight, people would say, "Ugh." So Young Miami didn't say that about her. She was
right.
referring to how people talk about
Facts.
women and their bodies. So when they got on the live, people grabbed onto it like there was some heat, or whatever, like that. But
Yeah,
there wasn't none. It was no shade, no nothing. It was just and she was even giving a compliment, like, yeah, she's losing all this weight now, and some people have an issue with her losing weight. So it's like, which one is it? You want her to lose weight or be fat? Like, which one? So
listen. Let me ask you this. This is the thing I think that's crazy. Okay, so here's my thing, though. Right? I like the way that Lizzo wanted to get that kind of clarification. I got your phone number.
yeah,
So I'm not so yeah, if I'm going live, because you brought this on up on a show. So I'm gonna meet you where you at when you brought your thing up. You didn't tell me you was gonna bring it up. So all right, we talking about it. We in open space, we public space. So I also didn't have a problem with her approach. She clarified, give me the context, just for the people who don't, for the people in the back. I like that. I wish, to be quite honest, that more things were like, if you got somebody's phone number in your pocket and you think that they're talking about you some kind of way, I like that she said, well, I'll just go straight to the source. Ain't no beating around the bush here, though, bro.
I like it too. But again, I don't think it was the smoke though. That I mean, I think, like I said, I think that she might not have liked the ill comment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like maybe some of her people was probably hitting her up. Like maybe she didn't even hear the interview, right? And people was like, "Yo, did you hear Young Miami talking about some talking about your weight?" Like until she
yeah.
so gave her the opportunity to explain it all the way through. But yeah, it was no beef though. Like it just was, let's clear this up, let's talk about it. And Club Shay Shay is a huge platform now. Like people
Yeah.
go on there, like he does huge numbers. That is
You
a
got to stop by there now, bro.
you do.
You got to stop by
So
that. I like that. And listen, it was bubbling before the whole Cat Williams thing, but now it's like it's up there with, like, if you were on like any kind of promotional tour, like the
yeah,
Breakfast
Breakfast
Club
Club,
or whomever.
Joe Rogan.
Uh, Joe, yeah, you got to stop by there though, bro. I think that's dope for him though, man. So, but I do like that. Lizzo's like, hey, you know what? If we gonna talk about it, I'm gonna do it on my platform then. And so it's like you get the content that you were looking for. We get everybody. It's a win-win for everybody though, bro. So
Now, now, did you see that he had Andrew Schultz on there?
I saw it, but I didn't really dive into it though.
Okay, yeah. Well, he addressed some of the
Yeah,
stuff that a lot of black people had issues about, like with him on the podcast with the two dudes. I'm just saying, a lot of people who have misunderstandings about Andrew Schultz, that's a place to go and listen to him have the conversation with somebody who felt some of the same ways black people felt about Andrew
Yeah.
Schultz. So
Yeah.
it was an interesting one. But yo, football beef.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So this is interesting, bro, because we talk about Club Shay Shay.
Yeah.
So I think that one of the things that was interesting is that Shannon Sharp will always go and instead die on whatever hill necessary. That Deion Sanders is the greatest DB of all time, and to him, it's like him and it's not even close. And I think that what's interesting is that he went on the late night joint with Ocho.
Yeah.
And I listen. I am of the same belief of Shannon Sharp when it comes to that's one thing that I think that I agree with him wholeheartedly on is where Deion Sanders is. And to me, bro, it's like it's Deion and it's like the next whoever's number two, whoever you want to say is number two. It's a far down number two, though, right? And so Asante Samuels is like, hey man, listen, I got numbers on over here. I got these stats on over here that tells me I got a case to say why I'm better than Deion, right? Like where I'm from, like this is a conversation. We don't just back down to what everybody else is saying. This is my claim. And I think that he's basically saying is that, hey, statistically speaking, he said if you look at any 5 of my seasons, I got a stretch of from this period to this period. I would be willing to put that against Deion's whole career, statistically speaking, as far as why I think that I have a better case. To say that not that Deion, that no one can be better than Deion, because at this point, this play that I had was better than Deion's, bro. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not mad at him for saying that, bro. I'm not mad at him for saying that. I just don't agree with him, but I'm not mad at him for saying that, bro.
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm not mad at him either for believing in yourself, but everything is about how you say stuff. And I felt like if Shannon felt it that disrespectfully, because we saw the write up behind it, like you ain't gonna just be out here just saying what you want to say, and we just supposed to run with it. So hey, just how you presented some stuff, Shannon clapped back. But again, like you said, I'm not mad at him saying it, but I definitely don't agree.
Here's the thing I think that's different. I think that what makes Deion Sanders, this is probably one of the things that when people talk about Jordan, they speak so glowingly about him the same way that people speak about Deion. Because for me, a lot of people will say, in terms of the best NFL players of all time, not you can say greatest, best, however you want to put it. Some people will say Lawrence Taylor is the best football player they had ever seen. Some people will say Jim Brown is the best football player they've ever seen. Some will say Tom Brady is because he's the greatest winner of all time. For me personally, I think Deion Sanders is the best that I've ever seen in my lifetime. But I think that what makes that even the case for me is that I've watched Deion shut down a whole half of a field to where he doesn't have the interceptions that Asante Samuel said. Hey, I had a stretch where I was averaging 6 or 7 interceptions a year, right? And Deion may have had 6 or 7 interceptions as a career high in a season. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you got 6 or 7 interceptions, that means that people are still trying you. Like they think they can get off on you. And I don't think that nobody even tested Deion. It's almost like Darrelle Revis. It's why I would say he may be number 2 for me because he had a stretch where nobody was even trying. Nobody wanted that smoke. Quarterbacks, offensive coordinators, they game plan to not even throw his way. And that's only the second time I had ever seen that, though, bro. So I do think that Asante Samuels had some seasons where he had a lot of interceptions, though, bro. But I think that it's also because people were trying him, though, man, and they weren't afraid to try him like that. Like, not like Deion, though, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's the case too. But it got real disrespectful on that nightcap though. That boy Shannon had to go pull the Hall of Fame trophy out because he was like, he said, "Hold on, bro." He said, "You might say Gronkowski, you might say
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, but that's about it." He said, "Because every other tight end thing you gonna pull up is gonna be me." He said, "So you ain't finna act like I don't know what I'm talking about."
I love that Shannon Sharp said, listen, when I retire, every statistical category for a tight end, I was the lead leader in the history when I retired. So sure, after I was gone, people have came and supplanted me, and I will give them their flowers, right? But I can see why somebody would stop at Shannon Sharp for 3 all time, right? So I get his point too, though, man. I thought the Shay Shay slid in. The thing I thought was kind of a low blow when he was like, yo, your son wouldn't even put you over Deion Sanders. At that point, though, man, I'm thinking like, all right, now, we might have to have a different kind of conversation
See,
in person.
that's again going back to the Stephen A thing. You ain't finna talk to me about.
You ain't gonna say my son.
You ain't finna say my son because now you low key you sneak dissing because you trying to say
Yeah.
something about me being a dad.
You could have made your point without bringing up my son. Which, by the way, I'm hoping that the Saints go after Asante Samuel Jr. now that he's a free agent. So yeah, I think that's
He said
crazy.
your son won't even pick you.
Your son won't even. I said no.
Listen, football talk is a sore subject for Shannon Sharp. He took his glasses off on Skip Bayless about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, football talk for Shannon Sharp. That is because he's worked so hard to be able to communicate about every other sport. But then when you try to say something about football, the sport that he came from and the sport that he
Yeah.
was for real good in, that he was acknowledged for how great he was, nah,
Yeah.
that is a sore subject. So it's like, don't push that button, bro.
With all things considered, though, bro, I think that Asante Samuels has a case to be be a Hall of Famer. If he's not a Hall of Famer, he should be on somebody's Ring of Honor. I think he might be on like the Patriots Ring of Honor. I think he was borderline. Like there are some guys that I think that are in that I think he's better than. So I'm not like I don't know, man. It's like the Santa Samuels, bro. I've always liked that. Even though people will still try him, I thought that he still, for the most part, he always came out most of the time on the winning side of people going against him, though, bro. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'm not mad either. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having conversations. I mean, shoot. Nowadays we talk Kobe, Steph. I mean, we talk Kobe, Jordan, and LeBron a lot, right? And now people are starting to actually have the conversation about Steph being in the conversation. And I'm okay with that, right? Like I told you even this year, or part of last year, that I don't even argue with people who say LeBron is their GOAT. I won't argue with you no more. Kobe, I still might have a conversation with you, but LeBron, if you because of the longevity, the stats, the accolades, the everything, if you saying that's your GOAT, that's whatever.
Hey,
But
listen, if you remove LeBron, here's one thing that I think this is gonna be crazy. If you just remove LeBron and just say LeBron, if the rest of the NBA played out the way that it did, and LeBron was never in the NBA, right? Do you think more people might say Steph was better than Kobe, greater than Kobe?
I don't think people would thought that Steph was greater than Kobe. Because the thing is, the reason why we don't give Kobe the edge of Jordan is because Kobe to me is a carbon copy of Jordan. So if he's the
True.
carbon copy of Jordan, then it's Jordan. I don't have a problem with people that saying Kobe is number 2. And so if you're saying that he is that close to greatness, then I can see why people wouldn't put Steph over Kobe.
here's my thing. What I believe is this is the thing I think. The only case that I can make for I wouldn't put Steph over Kobe. But to me, the only acceptable argument that I would even entertain listening to goes back to your point of I've seen a better version of Kobe. It was Jordan. And to me, Steph was one of one. He was the original. There is not another. There are some people who do some Steph-like things, but I think that there were people who were great shooters before Steph came along, right? There were great players. There was Dr. J's before Jordan, right? I think that Jordan is truly a one of one. And I think that there are only maybe 10 one of one players in the entire history of the NBA.
Now, I have Steph in my top 5. I do. I have him in my top 5. And the other thing is that when it comes to looking at the stats of stuff, some stuff is eye test, right? You just haven't seen, like, who's the person that chose Steph over Monte Ellis? They need an award. Whoever saw that.
So listen, I think that nobody saw that. And listen, I don't think that I don't care. I was here Skip Bayless say, "Oh, I thought that that Steph should have been the number one pick in that draft over." I think he was in the draft with Blake Griffin. There's no way that anybody can tell me that they saw Steph being this because physically there's no way that you could have told that. The other side to that is this. Monte Ellis was cold. And when I say cold, Monte Ellis, people forget that Monte Ellis went to the league out of high school, right? And Monte Ellis, I don't think he ever made the All-Star, but he was borderline All-Star, had a great NBA career. And so I don't know that anybody could tell me that they saw Steph being this, though. I just wouldn't
I'm not
believe
talking
it.
about that. I'm talking about when Golden State had the choice of
And they had the transition.
They had to transition, and it was either get rid of Steph, who was injury prone, or Monte Ellis, and they chose to keep Steph. Who was that guy?
I get, and I think that was Mark Jackson now.
Okay.
Right? That was Mark Jackson. But this is the thing, though, bro, because even then, Steph wasn't even like the top 3 player on the team because on that team you had Monte Ellis, you had Baron Davis on that team, you had some guys. I think David Lee was still on that team. Like you had some guys that were more proven than Steph. I mean, it was just like you said, he was injury prone, but he was a shooter, but he was injury prone early, and usually it's like if you're injured early, then typically you're going to be injured often. But you do have time to where it's like, well, you were injured early on. And even now, Steph ankles have always been one of those, things though, bro. So I don't know, man. That isn't but you can't tell me that you made that decision because you thought that Steph was gonna be this Steph.
Right. But yeah,
You could have told if you tell me that you just thought that it was possible, he's one of one. And like I said, there are only maybe like 10 guys in the history of the NBA where they were truly one of one. And it could be because the skill was so heavy. Like one of ones to me are like LeBron's, KD's, Jordan's, Steph, Dennis Rodman, Wilt, Kareem, Magic. That might be my list of one of ones, though, bro.
You ain't
Of
put
people
Shaq in there?
who
Shaq?
and Shaq. There we go, Shaq. Truly one of ones where there's never anybody like them that you can say that there was a better there could be a better version of it, though.
Right.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Did you fill out any brackets?
I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, bro. I have not been watching college basketball this season. I like this. It's weird because last year, the last couple of years, I remember watching more college basketball than NBA. And what's wild is that I was watching because there were a couple of guys who I followed in high school that I just wanted to see how they were doing. And I've been keeping up with that, but I haven't really been watching. So I didn't fill out a bracket. Uh, my only thought is this: I only have been following loosely enough to know that I believe that a team from I always thought that a team from the SEC was going to win a national championship. And I think there are probably still in the Sweet 16, like 6 teams from the SEC. And I still believe that somebody from the SEC, like Alabama, like an Auburn, somebody like that, I think would win, though, bro.
Yo, how you feel about two things from college, and then I'll get you out on that. One, Texas fired their coach. What was your thoughts? Got the Xavier coach.
I thought that they were going to go after the Xavier. Sean Miller, I think who it is. Sean Miller has been around for a little while, man, and he's always been a top tier coach. Like I think that he'll come in, to be quite honest with you, bro, and do just as good, probably even a little bit better, because I think that he is on the level of I think it was Chris Beard who we had before this guy that we have. He's on that level. I think that he's up there like that. I don't think that, like, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're downgrading on coaching at all, right? I do wish they would have gave him more time. But I think that they're looking around at the SEC, and literally overnight you're seeing where the SEC now is truly becoming a basketball conference. And if they felt like that, they just thought that he wasn't going to get it done, and they saw enough in 3 seasons, I'm not that mad about it, because they could have done worse, right? And I think that them getting an experience, been there, tried and true coach, I think that I'm not mad at it. I don't like it, but I'm not mad at it either.
Yeah. And the last thing that I was talking about, unfortunately, your girl JuJu tore the ACL out for the year.
Yeah.
What you feel about that?
Very unfortunate. And I think that the biggest thing, the reason why I think even more so is that, she's going toward the end of the season. So she's likely going to miss all of next year. And the only way that she would have time now is ACL, people they come back from that faster than they did before. I would think that on the side of optimism that maybe she could be back in time for March Madness next year. But it's unfortunate that she's going to miss an entire calendar school year. It's unfortunate. I like, though, bro, when it comes. This was funny. I have been keeping up with women's basketball, especially around now. And so I like that in the women's tournament that the star players are star players. They play like stars, though, bro. And so any chance I get to see, I catch it. So it's unfortunate that she's not gonna be there. But I feel for her, bro.
Yeah, totally unfortunate, especially because she could have went to the league, man. Like after this year, right? And just like how Caitlin Clark has elevated the WNBA, she could have did the same. Like you said just a couple of weeks ago, she's already in commercials. She's becoming a household name. She was just in the news with the whole Jaden Daniels mama hating on her.
Oh yeah.
Like, so her name was already out there like that. So yeah, definitely unfortunate.
The Jaden mama was out there blocking them old fast tail gals. She looked like she was thinking that. Yeah. Listen, real quick though. No games that I'm aware of are at Madison Square Garden. I died laughing when I saw Tracy Morgan yakking up out there on the court, though, bro. And I'm talking about when they wheelchaired him out of there, though, bro, and they said that he had food poisoning. I said, listen, bro, I've seen enough people throw up from drinking. I know somebody who done threw up for some Hennessy when I see it though, bro. So I said, good try, bro. But that ain't no food poisoning,
He
man.
said he gonna take care of he gonna take care of everybody that took care of him though. He gonna come back
That
and
boy was on
break
that.
it off.
Listen, he was on that Brown. He was on something. He was on that Yak, that E&J. That Urkel jerk was doing what it was supposed to do, though, bro. It's crazy. Crazy.
It was so gross, bro.
It was so nasty, though, bro.
Yeah, it was
Terrible.
nasty. Yeah. Look, man, we appreciate y'all for joining us because we are the Slash Brothers from ATL to OKC. We'll see y'all and thank y'all for joining us back from our 2-week hiatus. But we back, we in this thing, and we'll holler at y'all next time.
Peace.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you
of
dig
all
it,
time.
sucker?